Well, hello YouTube. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a couple weeks anyway since I seen you. But today, what I've got to do here is put a wheel hub assembly on. And it comes in this box here, and I've got to take of course I got to loosen up the lug nuts and take off the spindle nut before I can really get started, before I even jack up the vehicle. The spindle nut, the last Trailblazer that I had, it took a 35mm socket. Of course, who the hell has one of those, right? I went down O'Reilly's and picked one up for an impact set. Of course, I don't have an impact wrench, but I do have an old breaker bar here, and that'll be just fine for this. That in there, and give it a turn. I just go ahead and take this completely off of here, because I don't need it right now. Anyhow, I'll go ahead and stop this video until I get it off. Now, of course, the main reason I want the spindle nut off and the lug nuts loosened before I jack the vehicle up, I'm sure most of y'all know, but just for the ones that don't, it's a whole lot easier to turn these things with the tire on the ground. You lift it up, you try to spin that spindle nut, and the whole tire wants to spin around and doesn't nothing want to loosen. I think I've got it loose enough now where I can take it off by hand. And get this off of here, and I'll start loosening the lug nuts with the old 4-way. There's that. I'm just going to set it inside the old cover plate here. Makes the stuff easier to keep up with. Now, grab my old 4-way lug wrench here. Man, I've had this thing for, gosh, I bought it when I was a teenager. I'm 50 years old. I bought this thing when I was a teenager. I used to have it on the back old Jeep CJ5 I had back then. But it's seen some years, but it still works just fine. So there's one loose. Bad thing about these old things, last time I had these tires changed, of course I had them changed at a service place, and when they did it with an impact wrench. It seems like they always get these things on much more tightly than they ever need to be. And that's the good thing about having one of these 4-ways. If you're using regular tools, you're just using hand tools to do this stuff, is that you can pull and push on the thing, get some torque on these things. A whole lot easier than trying to use a an old tire tool or something. There. Now I got all them started, I can go ahead and jack the vehicle up. I want to go ahead and jack it up off camera here and put a jack stand under it for safety. Put some wheel chocks back there behind the back wheels. Alright, I got her jacked up over here. I got a jack stand under it over there. And I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of these lug nuts off here, off the rest of the way. Give it a spin and wait. There we are. One. Like Walmart did put a little bit of grease on it last time they changed the tires. That's good. Let's see here now. All right. There's two. Great thing about one of these four-ways is that once you get started with them, they're pretty fast. They're just about as fast as a impact gun once you get the thing spinning here. There it is. Just got two more lugs to go. I'll set that one up on the top side there, so it'll be the last one to take off. After I get the tire off, I'll let the jack down and let the whole thing sit on the jack stand then. Right now it's still sitting on the jack, but I want to do that until I get the tire all the way off. Now, lower it down onto that jack stand. That last one there. Now, I'd tell you what size this was, but these old four-ways, I don't know what size it is. I just turn them around until I find one that fits good. Anywho, we can now take this tire off, roll it out of the way, and lay it down on the ground, and we got this thing here now. And what I'll do now is I'll let the thing down here a little bit onto the jack stand. See if she's gonna sit on that jack stand good. Yeah. Jack stand appears to be holding it nicely. Not rocking or weaving or anything else. I'm just going to leave the jack right where it is. Alright, well, I may need to get in fired up here. I need to turn this to the left. Make it easier to get to these bolts on the back of this here. But hang on a minute, I want to shut you down till I get some stuff done. Alright, I went and looked it up. Those lug nuts are 19 millimeter. Now, first thing I want to do is take the caliper off and then the caliper bracket off. And I'll do that here in just in a second. The caliper has 2 bolts on the back, and they're 13 millimeter. And I'll go ahead and get my 13 millimeter socket and ratchet here. I'll see if I can get them loose, and if I can't, well, I'll go back in the garage and get either a wrecker bar or a cheater bar, one or the other. But they come loose easily enough, at least that one did. I'll go ahead and take it out. And we'll see about this one now. Yeah, it's, let's say they're just nothing special about them. They're just plain old 13 millimeter bolts. Got those out, and I'll set them down here with the lug nuts and all the other stuff on that little cap there. Now I'll go ahead and pull this off and get it set down somewhere behind it here. At least I think I will. I may end up having to fight with it some. There it comes. Okay. Now if I can get it to sit back here, Summers. Okay, that should stay there. Alright, now there's the brake pads. Look like they got plenty of wear left on them, so I'm just going to leave them there. Now for the other one, I believe it takes an 18 millimeter. Yeah, it's an 18 millimeter. There's these 2 other larger bolts back in the back here, and they take 18 and they take off this piece here that holds the caliper in place, the caliper bracket, I guess you call it. I want to go get a cheater bar for it here, or a breaker bar, whichever one I happen to come across. Well, now as it happens, I do have, like I say, I did find the breaker bar, but it's a little bit short. There's not much, I don't imagine I'll be able to get much torque onto it. So I brought me the cheater bar out too, which is just a pipe to fit over the end of the breaker bar. This is going to take a little while here. I'll probably put the socket on there now, or excuse me, put the ratchet on there now instead of that breaker bar, and we'll go a little bit faster anyhow. Still had to use the cheater bar though. Still kind of tight. Alright, that ought to get it now. Yeah. Almost got one of them out. I gotta get up on the top side and do the same thing. Instead of using that breaker bar, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this socket with the, or excuse me, this ratchet with the cheater bar on it and see what I can come up with this way. I better go ahead and stick the breaker bar on it. Don't want to break the ratchet. All right. All right. Now I can stick the ratchet back on there. I'm sure to a lot of people this is a really slow way of doing it, but like I say, when all you got is hand tools, it's the way you do it. See if I can get it by hand yet. Yeah, there we are. All right, now you better just go ahead and take this whole thing here off. There we are. Got all that off there now. And as I recall, I got 4 more sockets back here. I want to see if I can find them by feel, because there's no good way to. Yeah, there they are. There's one. But they're the ones that actually hold the wheel hub assembly itself on. And there's no good way of doing this. Just because everything on here is so damn tight, but let me go ahead and shut this camera off because this is going to take a long time. All right, now I apologize if the viewing angle for you is a little bit weird right now or anything, but I got 2 of those nuts off, and I got to get to this one back here now. I'm probably going to have to sit down on the ground to get this one. It's down kind of low, but it'll be the last bolt before I can take the hub assembly off. Down a little lower here. Sorry about that. And I might end up shaking the camera a bit more before I'm done. I'm just seeing where the best place to get this on would be. I'm trying to see anyhow. It looks like I might need a longer extension. This might be too long. If it is, we'll just go back to some other one here now. Okay. And that might get it, I don't know. We'll see. Or it might slip and bust my knuckles all to pieces too, but all right, well that started to get her loose. Somebody said worried about busting my ratchet. Said, well, it must not be a very good one. Well, It's an old Craftsman ratchet, but I don't know if they still guaranteed forever or not, like it was when this one was made. We don't even have a Sears no more. The closest I can get another ratchet or try to trade this one in would be the old Ace Hardware up in town, as they happen to carry Craftsman now. But even if I did get another one, I'm sure it wouldn't be as good as the one I've got here, because this one was made in the USA, and a new one that you get is probably going to be made in China. But I see no need of putting any undue stress on it any more than I have to. It may be loose enough now I can get it by hand. I don't know. It's feeling awful sloppy here. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's off already. It is, it's off. There you go, a pretty good size bolt. There's 3 of them, and they're all 18 millimeter as well. Now I need to take all this hose stuff loose here and it unplugs from somewhere. I believe it unplugs up here somewhere. I'm not sure where. That might be it right there. Hell, I don't know. I might have to go in and do some studying on that. I can't really remember anymore how that goes through there. But anyhow, I know some of them just pop right out, but I don't know if I need a screwdriver or what to get them, so I want to have to move y'all out of the way here, I believe. I don't know. You wouldn't be able to see what I was doing nohow. That's a little hose or wire connection or something. I believe it goes to the anti-lock brakes or something. I don't know what, but I got to take it off of here and I'll work on it. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get it off. All right, well, as you can see, at least I hope you can see it from there. I can't really tell. I've got this wire here off. Boy, that was a pain. I don't recommend getting it off the way that I did. I pried and pulled and pried and everything else. This plug over here, I kind of mangled it, but I'll get it back together. When I do, I'll black tape it up to make sure it stays in place. Anyhow, I believe now I'm ready to start whacking on this axle here. I believe I can just take a sledgehammer to it, whack on it a few times. I want to straighten it here before I try this, but I want to hit this on the end a few times and hopefully that'll knock it loose where I can pull the thing out. Hang on. Oh man, get the blood back into my legs where I can walk. Oh God. It sucks getting old, folks, I tell you. Now, inasmuch as I don't have a large ball peen hammer or a small handheld sledge or anything like that, I'm going to tap it with a sledgehammer. Well, it doesn't feel like it's loose. We're going to back y'all off here where I can get over here on the right side and give it a better whack. All right, folks, well, as you can see, I got it off of there. Once I got that tapped back in there, what I had to do was go back behind here, take a little hammer and tap on the back of this until it knocked loose. Once I did that, I was all right and it come off. Now I got to get this backing plate off of it, and most of the time that takes a little while because it's usually rusted to it. I mean, it's not attached to it in any way, but it is rusted to it. And I'll have to take all these damn things. Always got all this freaking grease on them. I'll take this screwdriver here and see if I can't get back behind the backing plate there a little bit and start prying it loose. And it will start to pry eventually. It's just slow about doing it. If I have to, I'll get a hammer out and knock on it a little bit more too. It looks like I'm going to have to. Yeah, that started to break it loose. All right. We got her knocked loose there. Now all I gotta do is get all this old wire out of it. And the new one will go on just opposite of the way that one come off. Let me get that set down. And I want to go get a wire brush and brush that off a little bit and wire brush this insides out here a little bit to make the new one easier to go on. Now some places you can get these little cheapy wire brushes for $1 or so. I don't remember how much I gave for these, but they've been up in the cabinet forever. And if you're not using them, why, it's really not that much then, is it? I want to take a screwdriver and see if I can't break some of that crud loose in there. All right, let's see if I can grab a bigger screwdriver. I could do a better job of that, but maybe. That seems to be where the most crud is on this front side of it here. So I'm just going to scrape it up like that and then take this old wire brush and brush it out again. Best I can. All right, well, that's not the best job in the world, but hopefully it'll go in there all right. Now I'm just going to knock some of this loose shit off of this backing plate. I'm not trying to make it look new or anything, just cleaning the crusty junk off of it here right quick. Okay. Now I know this is going to sit on here like this when I get the new one up here. Kind of sit in there just like that. Or actually just like that. Line it up with the holes. I'm going to grab this new one. I got to cut the little twist tie on here off. Of course, I don't have a knife. All right, hang on. All right, well, I went on ahead and got the knife and opened this thing up here. Got it back behind here. I'll have to, there. Now, it'll sit there good. I want to see if I can line this up a little bit better here now. It looks like it's lined up pretty good. I just got to get a bolt and put it through there. So I'm going to have to start her up and turn the wheel again. A lot of folks say, well, why don't you just grab it and turn it? Well, I've only got the left side jacked up. The right side of the front end is still on the ground, and that's why I can't manhandle it to turn it back and forth. So I start it up and turn it, and that'll get it turned. And then I can go ahead and start putting it back all together here. Now this is the hardest part of the job, is getting one of these dang things started in here, and while holding that up and getting it all threaded back together. Got that through there. Now the hard part, like I say, is getting this here lined back up to go in place. Now I'm wondering if it wouldn't just be easier to see if I can't get it started like this. I sure don't want to, I know that. No. So we'll grab a different bolt. Eventually we'll find one that'll grab. When it does, that'll make life a whole lot easier for us here. Yeah, boy. Man, I might have to turn it back straight again and start it that way until I can get the thing lined up a little bit started and then turn it back again. I am no expert at this. Don't pretend to be. And as you can see, I make mistakes just about like anybody, and probably more. But it's so seldom that I ever have to do this, that when I do have to do it, it just takes me a long doggone time. There. There's probably easier ways of going about this, but I don't know what they are. And if I could just get the thread started just a little bit on one of them. Doesn't particularly matter which one. Let's see here now. I'll take this, all this extension off of here. I want to see if this is making any difference. Not much, no. I bet it hadn't grabbed it a bit, has it? Yes, it has. Well, how fortunate for me. All right, now, I want to go ahead and just keep on tightening this. All right, now I think it's in there enough. I might be able to start getting these other ones lined up a little bit better. A little bit. Oh, man. All right. I'll see if this here will line up any better, where it starts to grab. If it does, it does. If it don't, well, so far it ain't. Okay, I think it's grabbing now. Yeah. All right. I don't need it to grab much, just to grab, it's all. Grab this last one, and I'm gonna get it down here in its hole in the bottom here where it goes. See if I can get it to grab it all. If I can just get them to bite, like I say, just a little bit. And they have, they're all biting now. Yeah, okay. That being the case, I want to go ahead and start wiring this back up into its holes and slots and things. This in here just goes through that. I gotta see if there's, okay, I need to go up on the inside of this, looks like. Yeah. And I'll get back with you after I get this thing wired back up and plugged back in. All right, folks. Well, I'm sorry I haven't had you on as much as I would have liked to. Matter of fact, there's some spots I I can't even remember whether I had the camera on or not. But I went on ahead and tightened up these 3 18mm bolts again. This one down here, this one up here, and this one up here, so the new one is on. Now it's time to put the old rotor back on. So we'll bring this up here and try to get it lined up on its holes here. There. Now we'll get it down here in place. And you know what? I put that on backwards. Well, this ain't not the first time I've done something stupid, so it won't be the last. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. Let's see if I can get this damn rotor on here now. There. Now, we got that back up there. Now I'm gonna take this part here and put it back on. I might have to pull this back out a little bit first to get lined up. There's obviously something I'm doing wrong, but it's not lining up. Oops. Bring this back up. Okay, well, no, it's still not lined up. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess it is lined up. No, it's not. Well, yeah, it is. It is lined up. My bad. I'm just a dumbass, like I said. Let me grab these 2 bolts here. Start getting them through. And I'll see if I can't line this up enough to get it started on there. If I can get this other one started on there. Alright. Grab this other one here. Like I say, we'll see if we can't get it started. And I believe it is. Yeah, it's tightening up. All right, that's good. Good. I want to come back here next spring, and while these rotors are still plenty thick enough and stuff, I'm still wanting to change them out, and by then it'll be time to change these brake shoes. They're getting down about, I don't know, the lines are still about halfway across. So I guess they'll be good for some time, but all right, we're going to tighten these on down. Find my cheater bar here. There it is. We're going to put just a little bit of torque on it. There. Don't need much because it didn't have much to start with. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, you have to have it. Well, hey, YouTube, I got the thing all done here. The battery ran out of juice. I'm sorry, but I wanted to show how to put everything back together. basically it's just the reverse of how I took it off. So I mean, but it's working fine. I'm not going to have to replace the one on the right front, even though I have it, because I took it for a test drive down the road and back, and it's sounding just fine. It's a good thing I don't need to change the right side anyhow, because as you can see, it's begun to rain, and I think it's supposed to keep this up about all night. So nice fall day here in Canton, Indiana. All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll holler at you later. This is Gary signing off.